There are many reasons why electric drive vehicles, or EVs, are an attractive alternative to conventional vehicles. EVs produce fewer tailpipe emissions that contribute to local air pollution, such as carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Using EVs could also help reduce U.S. dependence on foreign oil. Most of the electricity used at present to charge EVs is produced by power plants that use domestic resources, such as coal, natural gas, and nuclear energy. It is also possible to use what the U.S. Department of Energy refers to as renewable energy sources, including solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal power to generate the electricity required by EVs as these energy sources become more widely available. Electric drive refers to vehicles that use electricity to either power or improve the efficiency of a vehicle. According to the Alternative Fuels Data Center, the electricity used to power the vehicle may be provided by the electric power grid and is stored in the vehicle's batteries. However, onboard generation of electricity is common in EVs. Electric drive vehicles can be sorted into three categories: hybrid electric vehicles, also known as HEVs, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, known as PHEVs, and all-electric or battery electric vehicles, also known as BEVs. An additional, less common group includes hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, also known as FCEVs. All of these use electricity, energy storage devices, and electric motors to improve efficiency or completely power the vehicle. There are various configurations based on these standard categories. For example, General Motors refers to the Chevrolet Volt as an extended range electric vehicle, or EREV, which would be a variant of a PHEV. Electricity as a fuel has been around for over 100 years. Some of the first electric vehicles were battery-powered versions of a horseless carriage. As petroleum production increased and fuel prices dropped at the beginning of the 20th century, electric vehicles faded away as conventional petroleum-fueled vehicles became popular. However, with increasing fuel prices and growing environmental concerns, electric drive vehicles are again gaining popularity. The most common method to store electricity is in batteries. The most popular forms of batteries are nickel metal hydride batteries and lithium-ion or polymer batteries. The stored electricity is used to power electric motors. These motors are capable of producing large amounts of torque across a wide speed range. HEVs and PHEVs typically use electric motors along with conventional internal combustion engines. BEVs only use electricity as a power source and do not have internal combustion engines for onboard electricity generation. These vehicles have limited range based on electric charging station infrastructure. There are currently over 6,800 public charging stations available across the U.S. HEVs, PHEVs, and BEVs are currently available from most manufacturers in both light-duty passenger versions as well as heavy-duty versions, such as transit buses and delivery trucks. HEVs use conventional fuels, such as gasoline, to generate their electric energy. They typically pair an internal combustion engine with one or two motor generators. These motor generators can assist the engine, charge onboard batteries, or capture energy that would typically be lost during braking. This technology is referred to as regenerative braking. HEVs offer better fuel economy than conventional counterparts and lower emissions. PHEVs are modified HEVs in that they typically have a larger battery pack for added energy storage. They have the ability to recharge the battery using power from the electric grid. These vehicles can be charged at public charging stations or at home. They have better fuel economy when compared to HEVs because they have a longer all-electric range. The electricity used from the grid has the added benefit of being domestically produced and, in some parts of the country, renewable. HEVs and PHEVs may be further described by how the vehicle powertrains operate. These vehicles have simpler transmissions because of the added benefits of the electric motors. The main operating configurations are referred to as series and parallel. The most common of these is parallel. A parallel hybrid can use either the internal combustion engine or electric motor for vehicle propulsion. These can be used together, separately, or in various combinations depending on conditions. Series hybrids are different in that the onboard internal combustion engine is used only to generate electricity. The electricity is then sent to the electric motors, which are the only driving force for vehicle propulsion. A common example of a parallel hybrid would be the Toyota Prius. The Chevy Volt mostly operates under a series configuration. The last main category of electric drive vehicles are BEVs. These vehicles operate solely on electricity and do not have onboard internal combustion engines. These vehicles are usually limited in driving range due to the current limited availability of recharging infrastructure. All of these main categories of electric drive vehicles are available in light and heavy-duty versions. Each can best serve a specific group of consumers, but all share similar advantages and benefits. The benefits of electric drive are mainly in the areas of health, environment, economy, and energy security. Compared with vehicles fueled by conventional gasoline or diesel, EVs produce lower local emissions. When operating in all-electric modes, these vehicles produce no local emissions. This benefit is important in congested urban areas that typically have a higher number of vehicles operating in traffic, along with a higher population density. For these reasons, many consumers and transportation companies are using EVs to lower the pollution levels in these areas. Burning fossil fuels has contributed to environmental issues such as global warming, smog, and acid rain. EVs have better fuel economy than conventional vehicles, which means they are producing fewer of these detrimental emissions. The electricity used from the main power grid does usually produce emissions which must be considered when analyzing their effect on the environment. However, renewable generation of electricity is gaining popularity and contributing to the power used for recharging. When BEVs are recharged using solar or wind-generated power, they have no local or global emissions. This means that some BEVs can have nearly no carbon footprint. This means less pollution for a better environment. The electricity used by EVs for recharging from the electric grid is also produced domestically. Natural gas, coal, and renewable electricity are all produced in the U.S. Not only can these vehicles operate cleaner and more efficiently, but they can do so on American energy. In addition to assisting the country's economy, EVs are usually less expensive to maintain and operate. Due to the improved fuel economy alone, HEVs are less expensive to operate compared to conventional vehicles and usually have fuel costs of 5 to 7 cents per mile to operate compared to conventional vehicles that cost 10 to 15 cents per mile. PHEVs also are said to be less expensive to operate than HEVs, usually costing 2 to 4 cents per mile based on average U.S. electricity rates. A recent study estimates that if 73% of U.S. vehicles were powered by electricity, the nation could offset around 6.2 million barrels of oil per day, therefore reducing our dependency on foreign oil. Since electricity is domestically produced, electric drive vehicles can create and secure American jobs and infrastructure.